Welcome to your complete beginner's guide for the DJI Mic Mini. This is a small, compact wireless microphone system that makes it super easy to get clean audio in a variety of situations. And in this video, I'm gonna go through everything that you need to know about this transmitter-receiver combo so that you could get the best audio when you're out filming. So let me go through a quick overview of what you're gonna learn in this video. First, we're gonna go over the devices themselves, all the buttons and everything you have access to on the transmitter and receiver, so that you have a complete understanding of how it all works. In the second section, we're gonna dig into the software that you use. So how you pair this with the DJI Mimo app and get the most out of your transmitter and receiver. We'll also go through how you use these with your other devices like your OSMO Action 5 Pro or your OSMO Pocket. And then in the last section, I'm gonna talk a little bit about workflow and how I personally use the DJI Mic Mini to make my videos. Now, before we jump into it, I just wanna say a special thanks to DJI for sponsoring this beginner's guide. So I'm up here on the top of this peak, and right now I'm actually using the DJI Mic 2 to record this audio. So you're gonna hear the difference between the DJI Mic 2 and the DJI Mic Mini when I turn on the Mic Mini and start using it to make parts of this video as well. However, before we get into the first section where we talk all about this combo, let me give you a rundown of the Mic Mini and some of the features that are gonna be really useful when you're making your videos. And to do that, I'm gonna switch over to the DJI Mic Mini, which you're hearing right now. And one of the biggest reasons to use a wireless system is to get away from the camera. So you could get a distance away and do these wider shots where you can move around the space or film people that are away from camera. When you're typically using with something like a shotgun microphone, you have to keep close distance to whoever you're filming, whether that's yourself or you're filming with other people. And so the wireless system gives you that flexibility to get shots like this, where you're a little bit wider. It allows you to do more interesting compositions and really change up what you're doing. Now, right now I'm just hand holding this microphone like this, but I could easily just put it on my shirt as well. Now, another big thing with this system is that there's no cables. So you don't have any cables running up your shirt, and it's just a small little transmitter. Now, also with that, there is nowhere to input a lavalier if that is something that you want to use. So it's smaller, more compact. However, the actual transmitter itself is the microphone, and so it's super simple because you just have to use the transmitter as your microphone. Now, something else that's cool with this setup is that all the accessories, so like the windscreen on top, which is helping block this wind, and the cable all fit in the charging case so that you could keep everything in one spot. Now, battery life, you have 11 and a half hours on the transmitters. So I could keep this on pretty much all day and I'm not gonna run out of battery. And on the receiver, it's 10 and a half hours. And when you put it in the charging case, it's gonna charge your transmitter and receiver 3.5 times. So you get a ton of battery life with this tiny little setup. Now, beyond connecting to your camera, you can connect to a smartphone, your OSMO Action 5 Pro, your OSMO Action 4, or your DJI Pocket 3. So you could use these in a wide range of setups depending on which camera that you're using when you're out filming. Right now, I'm shooting with the Action 5 Pro. And one thing that I've noticed working with this wireless setup is that overall, DJI has made the sound of the wireless Mic Mini better than the DJI Mic 2. The microphone they used on this little transmitter just sounds so much cleaner and so much better, which is pretty wild and why I've been using the Mic Mini on most of my videos recently. I've been hiding it down here on my backpack strap before it was released, and whenever I do a voiceover, I just do it like this. And we'll talk about workflow and how to use this microphone a little bit later towards the end of this video. And this is DJI's smallest wireless system. And with that, it also comes with 2 different levels of noise cancellation so that it can focus in on your voice no matter what setting you're in. And one of the biggest differences between the DJI Mic Mini and the DJI Mic 2 is there's no backup recording on the Mic Mini. However, that makes it much smaller, more compact, and even a lot cheaper. And the design of the Mic Mini is much more simple than what you'll find on the DJI Mic 2. And so that brings us into our first section. Let's dig into everything that you find on the Mic Mini and how to use it. So depending on which kit that you purchase with your DJI Mic Mini, there's gonna be a few different accessories that come with it. The full kit is 2 transmitters, receiver, and you get a little soft pouch to go with it, but then you also get your charging case, which will hold all the accessories. There's a few additional accessories that won't fit in this charging case, and they're gonna go in the soft case. Now you can also buy this as a standalone transmitter. So if you just wanna use the Mic Mini with, say, your Action 5 Pro or your phone, then you could buy it as a standalone. It also comes with a little pouch, and it comes with a little charging dock. So it's just a single transmitter, and it has a charging dock and a few extras, and it fits all nicely in a soft pouch. And so here on screen are all the different ways that you could purchase this microphone and all the accessories that are available for it. And so let's go over the smaller kit, the $59 kit. You get the small pouch that holds all your accessories. You get the little charging dock, the transmitter, you get 2 different windscreens, and then you get your charging cable. Now for the windscreens, if you get the white version, which is what I'm holding right here, you get a white wind puff, which is gonna match it, or you get the gray one, which is kind of like the one I have here on the DJI Mic 2. Now, if you get the black version of this, it's the exact same, except for instead of the white windscreen, you get a black windscreen. And so the 2 different options, depending on what you need to use it for, you could get white or you could get the black version. Now, if you get the bigger setup with the charging case, well, you get a bigger soft case. This is gonna hold all the extras like the extra windscreens and your charging cable. But in the battery case, it can hold your 2 windscreens that you want to use at that time, and also it's going to hold the cable that connects to your camera. So in the top of the case here, you can wind up your cable and stick it right in the case so that you could have it always in the charger case and not have to take the soft case with you. You can also keep both windscreens on the microphones so that when you close it, it's all nice and secure inside. You'll also see, just as with the DJI Mic 2, there's a place for 2 different types of phone adapters, the USB-C or the Lightning, and then there's a place for the receiver right in the middle. And this charging case has a USB-C on the back, which is how you charge it. It takes about 2 hours to charge the charging case full. And as I said earlier, this will charge your transmitter and your receiver 3.6 times. So you'll get a ton of power just from one charge of the case. So let's go over what you find on the transmitters. So on each transmitter, there's gonna be a clip, and this is what you could use to clip to your t-shirt. You could clip it to a backpack. I often like to use it with a backpack with a strap across my chest, and I'll put the microphone right there. And then also on this clip, you'll find that it's magnetized. So it comes with a little magnet so that you can magnetize it through something like a shirt and you don't have to actually use the clip. And this is the method I like to use when I'm filming because it keeps the microphone in the proper location where it's not super close to my neck, but it's like right in the middle of my chest so I can get the best audio when I'm working with one of these microphones. Now on the bottom, you'll see these 4 gold little circles. This is how you charge the DJI Mic Mini. And if you have the charging case, it just clips right into the charging case. Or if you have the adapter, you have to put it in the little dock to be able to charge this. There's no USB-C on the actual Mic Mini itself. So you have to use the dock or the charging case to be able to charge the Mic Mini. Now on one side, you're gonna find a power button. And then on top of that, you're gonna find your link button. And the link is gonna allow you to link this to different devices. So you could put it in pairing mode to be able to link to your phone or to the receiver or to something like your OSMO Action 5. And I'll show you later on this video how we actually link this to the device that we want to use. And then on the top, you'll see your microphone. You'll see a series of holes right in the middle. And then the 2 bigger holes on the outside is what hooks into the windscreen that goes on top of the microphone. And for that, you just push it on until you hear a clip, and then it will be securely on and you don't have to worry about this falling off. Now also on the Mic Mini, you're gonna find 2 different LEDs. The one next to the pairing button and the power button is gonna be your status indicator. And this is gonna flash different colors. It's gonna tell you some different things. The one on the other side is your noise cancellation LED. And you'll be able to see whether your noise cancellation is turned on or off. And so that's basically it. There's not a lot to this transmitter. There's no way to put in an additional microphone like a lav or anything like that. So essentially, it's just a wireless mic, and that's it. Now, when we look at the receiver, you'll see that it's much more simple than the DJI Mic 2 receiver. The DJI Mic 2 has a full screen on it and you could adjust all of your settings using the actual DJI Mic 2 and you never have to connect it to your phone or your computer to use it. With the DJI Mic Mini, it's a lot more basic. So it's simple. There's only a few buttons on the actual receiver itself and the rest of the controls are done through the DJI Mimo app. So you're gonna connect this to your phone and then from there, you could go through and adjust all of your settings. And so the second section of this video, I'm gonna show you the DJI Mimo app and we'll adjust all the settings together and I'll show you what you have available when you actually hook this up to DJI Mimo. But on the receiver itself, you'll see a few things. Right on the front, it says Mic RX, means receiver. And there's a little light next to that. And so that will tell you if it's on or off. Now on top of that, you'll see 2 other lights, a 1 and a 2. And these are basically just to tell you if you have 1 transmitter or 2 transmitters hooked into the receiver. So when you have a receiver connected, you'll see that this light will glow green. Now also what you'll find is that there's a dial on the right side, and this goes from -12 dB all the way up to +12 dB. And this is the output from the receiver. So when you have this hooked onto your camera, you adjust this for how loud you want the signal to go out of the receiver into your camera. And so 0 is the baseline. And if it's too quiet, you can add 6 decibels or you can add 12. And if it's too loud, you can go -6 or -12. So it's just a quick adjustment right on the receiver itself to adjust the output of the audio that's being sent to your camera. And now on one side, you're gonna find an orange audio connector. This is what you're gonna connect to your camera. So you'll plug in your output, plug it into your camera's input, and that's how you'll send your audio out. Now next to that, you'll see the little link button. You're gonna press and hold this to link your transmitters to your receivers, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. Now on the other side, you're gonna find your power button, and you're gonna press and hold your power button to turn on the transmitter or turn off your transmitter. Pretty simple. On the bottom of this receiver, you have a clip, so you could clip it on to wherever you need to have the receiver mounted, or this clip is also a cold shoe mount, so you can put it right on top of your camera. And on the back, you have your 4 gold dots. This is how you're gonna charge your receiver. And you also have a USB-C on the back of this receiver. So you could plug this directly into your computer if you wanna use this as your audio for your computer. You could also use this to charge the receiver as well. Now there's a little cover on the back, and you can open this up, and this is where you're gonna add your adapters. So if you're gonna connect this directly to your phone using the USB-C or the lightning port, you hook it in right here, and then you can hook it directly to your phone. And so when you wanna use your DJI Mimo app, what you're gonna do is hook up your adapter, connect it to your phone, and then you have access to all of your settings. So it is important that you do use your phone with the DJI Mimo app with the Mic Mini so that you can get the most out of this microphone. And so that's everything that you're gonna find on the receiver itself. It's a fairly simple setup, and so there's not a lot to it. However, let's go through how you actually pair this with different devices, and then also how you actually use all the features that are built into the Mic Mini. All right, so let's dig into how you actually connect this system and how you start using it. So when you get it out of the box, if you bought the transmitter and receiver together, they're gonna come prepared. However, if you link it to something like your phone, you'll need to repair both the transmitter and the receiver when you're ready to start using them together again. And it's fairly simple. So you just need to turn on both devices, press and hold the pair button on the transmitter, press and hold the pair button on the receiver, and you'll wait for the lights to flash until they're connected. You'll see that there'll be a solid green on the transmitter, and there'll be a solid green on the receiver. Now, if you want to pair it to, say, your phone via Bluetooth, you'll press and hold the pair button again, and you'll see the light flash between green and blue. You'll go into your settings on your phone, go to your Bluetooth, and you'll see it will pop up, and now you could use this via Bluetooth with your phone. And when it's in this mode, you'll see that it's solid blue. And when you're done using it in the Bluetooth mode, you just press and hold the pairing button again, press and hold the pairing button on your receiver, and it'll repair instantly back to the receiver. So that's basically the process of pairing this microphone with different setups. Whether you are using your phone or you're using something with like your Action 5 Pro, it's the same process. So for something like the Action 5 Pro, the 4, or the OSMO Pocket, you're gonna go into your deeper menu, go over to wireless mic, click the transmitter button, and then press and hold the pairing button on your DJI Mic Mini until it's flashing, and then it will automatically connect. And then you can start using the Mic Mini with your Action 5 Pro or OSMO Pocket. When you're done, press and hold the pairing button on the Mic Mini again, hold it on the receiver, and you'll be repaired with this setup, ready to go again. So super simple to jump between devices depending on how you actually want to use the Mic Mini. And for me, I've been using the Mic Mini with all the different devices that I work with. So being able to pair it quickly between them makes it super easy to use. And so next, let's go through some of the lights that you're gonna see flashing on the Mic Mini. So if it's solid red, then it's gonna mean that it's less than 10% of battery. If it's solid blue or green, then that means that it's more than 10% of battery. And solid blue or solid green just means, is it paired to the receiver or is it paired to something like your phone or the Action 5 Pro? If it's blue, it's in the Bluetooth pairing mode and it's paired to one of those devices. If it's green, it's paired to your receiver. So if it's green blinking slowly, that means that it's unconnected. And so when it's blinking green, basically what that means is that it is connected to the receiver, but the receiver's not turned on or it's not in range. So it's gonna blink back and forth saying that it's not connected. You wanna see a solid color to know that you're connected. Now it's the same for Bluetooth. If you had it paired to, say, your smartphone, and it's no longer within range, or your phone's not connected for whatever reason, you'll see it blinking blue. If you see it blinking green, blue, green, blue, green, blue, that means it's in pairing mode. And so it's waiting for the receiver or the phone or the Action 5 to go into pairing mode as well so that it can connect. And when you're charging the transmitter as a standalone, if it's blue and green slowly, it's 0 to 25%. If it's blue and green twice, it's 26 to 50%. If it's 3 times, it's 51 to 75%. If it's 4 times, it's 76 to 100%. And if the lights are off, it's fully charged. Now let's talk about the lights that you're gonna find on the receiver, because you have similar types of lights that are gonna be flashing depending on the mode that you're in and what's going on. So in the front, if this light is red, just as on the transmitter, it means it's less than 10% of battery. Now, when it's solid green, that means that you're working in mono or safety track mode. And I'll go through the different modes a little bit later in this video. If it's solid cyan, that means you're in stereo mode. And that's where it splits the audio track between the left and right channel when you're using 2 different transmitters. And also this status LED is gonna dictate what the charging level is when you do plug it in to charge. So if you plug in using the USB-C, you basically have 0 to 25%, it blinks slowly, 26 to 50%, it blinks twice, 51 to 75%, 3 times, 76 to 100%, 4 times. So it basically just goes up in 25% increments and tells you how much charge you have on receiver. And when the lights are off, it's fully charged. Now, the other status indicators you have are next to the 1 and the 2, and these are for the actual specific transmitters, the wireless microphones. And so if these are solid red, that means you have less than 10% on that transmitter. If it's solid green, it means it's connected and you have more than 10% on the transmitter. If the lights are off, that means it's not connected to the transmitters. If it's blinking, that means you're in pairing mode and it's getting ready to connect to the transmitters. And if it's a solid yellow, that means you have noise cancellation turned on for that transmitter. Now, one other way that you could pair your transmitter to your receiver is by just putting them in the charging case. So if they're turned on, you put them all in and it will pair them automatically. Super easy. Now, to use the Mic Mini with your camera, you just need to plug in the audio cable. So you'll pull the receiver, the cable out of your case. I just put it on top of my camera with the hot shoe mount, and then I connect directly via the audio cable into my camera's audio input. And once everything's paired and ready to go, you'll start seeing the levels on your camera.